Painting with Menoth John is presented in Super Legitivision. Super Legitivision, the future of podcasting. It's .com.
Hello, I'm
Menoth John.
and I'd like to welcome you. First of all, let me take just a moment to thank you for allowing me back into your homes. If this is your first time with us, let me extend a personal invitation for you to drag out your
miniatures
and paint along with us each week. Let's go over to the canvas here and let's get started. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. I believe, every day's a good day when you paint. I believe, it'll bring a lot of good thoughts to your heart. Let's build a happy little cloud. Let's build some happy little trees. There are no limits here. Start out by believing here. You can almost paint with anything. All you have to do is practice.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Holy, this lamp here, it's kind of sticking right in the middle of everything. So we're just going to lift that up, and through the magic of XSplit, we are going to get that out of frame. Ladies and gentlemen, you are here at the Painting with Menoth John Sunday Night Extravaganza Game of Thrones Day Edition. I am, of course, Menoth John, and with me, as usual, the mighty right hand of the podcast, Mr. John Spencer.
Heyo.
And directly above him, literally perching upon his head, is our amazing mascot of Doom, Gonzo.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Sure appreciate it. We are here as usual. But we do have a fairly important announcement to start off the show with. And, yeah?
I'm pregnant.
Yeah. I slipped him the noodle, and somehow he turned out, with all that facial hair, he turned out to be female. Anyway, so, no, in all seriousness, been doing this show now, John, for 4.5 years. Started out as a way to, I didn't have a date, and it was a way for me to improve my painting and to kind of keep me out of trouble and stuff like that. And I am about to cross the finish line on 100% painted on all of my War Machine and Hordes. And folks, the time has come for Menoth John to walk off into the sunset. I am going to call it a show. Starting the last episode will be July 30th. We are going to have another episode next week that Gonzo and John are going to decide what it's going to be because they wanted to be a part of it and to decide exactly what it's going to be. And then on the last show, we're going to have Beer Machine Rich with us, who's meant a lot to the show over the years. And we are going to draw the curtain on Painting with Menoth John. Now, that being said, I am not the only member of this particular show. The two gentlemen that are up in the catbird seat, you know them as Mr. John Spencer and the Irrational Gonzo, have certainly expressed the interest in continuing to do a new show. That I don't have a lot of the details with it. Obviously, I'm not going to be involved with it, and I thought that probably one of the best things we could do with the very first part of the show is give John and Gonzo an opportunity to kind of talk a little bit about what's going to be next. So, guys, what do you want to share with the group?
A drink.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll start that. 164 episodes or whatever the fuck this is, and I still can't get the start off of this thing right. I'm going to be drinking from Ommegang Brewery. This is Game of Thrones 7 Kingdoms. My girlfriend's mom gave this to me for Christmas. It is a hoppy wheat ale, and so it smells nice. And I'm going to pour it in one of these loaded dice glasses here, because you don't drink good beer out of the bottle like an alcoholic. And so we got here. There you go. It's certainly a golden ale. You'd think a guy from Wisconsin could pour a beer better than this, but apparently I can't. Well, that's what I'm going to be drinking. What about you, Mr. John?
Well, I'm gonna start off with a shot of that coconut rum, and then I'm gonna follow up with Spitfire Gold, which was a gift from Kev Bryant over in the UK.
Yeah, hell yeah. What about you, Gonzo?
I'm going to start off also with a Spitfire. And after I finish that, I'm going to go with a Mother's Imperial Grind Coffee Stout.
Well, there you go. Well, I'll tell you what. On behalf of the best fans that I could have ever possibly asked for, with all the years that we've been doing this, it's been great. I mean, the people that have been here and have come for all the different episodes. God, a lot of you have actually been here for all 4 years of this experiment. So, thanks again, and hey, Ron.
Ron.
And to John.
Thank you. Oh, this is delightful. Nice.
Oh, this isn't bad either.
Is that now? That's the Spitfire, right?
Correct. I looked it up, and it had some weird ratings on beer schedules for people.
Walk me through what you're tasting. Keep it G-rated.
Yeah, that's good.
Didn't have a bad aftertaste.
Good.
No, I mean, it says it has a soft, bitter finish, but it's not bad at all. And a sweet malt base. It's
pretty sweet.
That's a good beer.
Yeah, I could take and have some pizza and some food with this. I could see drinking this just sitting down.
Well,
I mean, it's a pretty good. It's like 4.3, 500 milliliters.
Yeah, I mean that's a good drinking beer.
We're doing that metric.
You can pour it. Yeah, it's like 4.3%. That's like 60 proofs or something in England in imperials or something, right? So yeah, metric beer. We like metric beer because it comes in. It's like a couple hundred extra of those millidigers extra or something in the bottle. It gets extra. So hey, hooray for England, Ron.
No, that's Ron. That was good. That's pretty good.
No, Kirk, it's not. This is not the last episode today. The last episode will be July the 30th. So you've got this episode, you've got next week's, and you got one more after that, and then we're going to close the curtain on Painting with Menoth John. So the show that will take this one's place will not be Painting with Menoth John. We are going to keep the Patreon open, and I'm going to turn that over to Gonzo and John. So if you wish to continue to support their show, which you guys, what are you going to call your show?
Painting without Menoth John.
Yeah, Painting without Menoth John.
The one we really wanted to go with, but we got a cease and desist letter already. It was going to be playing, painting, and planning. And we were going to name it P3, but we got in trouble already for that.
Well done. Keeping up the home fires burning and pissing off Paint Privateer. Way to go.
No, we made a joke about it, and that was thankful to our big boy Seth. We are going to continue a podcast. The podcast will be called More Than Dice. Gaming from all sides of the tabletop. And we have actually, since we like the trio, we have invited a third person onto the podcast. And since our podcast is going to be based around casual play, hardcore play, painting, so on and so forth, we have graciously invited Seth to join the podcast.
So, like, you're actually going to get to see someone who actually fucking knows how to paint, which will be super legit. I mean, you guys, instead of playing fuck around with paints with Menoth John, which is what it's been for 4.5 years, it's like, oh, fuck, that's how you paint. Super sweet, man. By the way, I so much appreciate all the wonderful things that people are saying in the chat room right now. I can't respond because for some reason the internet has decided to shit all over my ability to get into Twitch here in Wisconsin. But I very much appreciate it. And Dow Dark, I don't have words for what you typed in there. Thank you very much. But so now I'm going to ask you. I'm interviewing the new show. Are you guys going to stick with it being a live show, or what are you guys thinking about doing?
Oh, absolutely live.
We've been talking about it. We've had some meetings. I've been in contact with a lot of different people, but yes, it still will be a live show Sunday. Same thing. doing a pre-ramble, doing an hour of BSing and whatever we're going to talk about. I have got actually quite a few people lined up as guests, but we wanted to make an announcement that this is not going to be just about War Machine and Hordes.
Yep. There's a big universe of games out there, and
Yes.
while War Machine and Hordes is it's the one that got, the horse we rode for so long. I think it's great you guys are going to be looking at a larger diversity of games for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we decided that would be something that would be really important.
So
to make it a good podcast.
Now the Twitch channel will not be this channel, correct?
Correct.
No,
We've
but
already claimed.
we'd ask that you set yours to rebroadcast what we're doing at least for a bit while we
Without
get
question.
our feet under us.
Without question, I will set it up to rebroadcast yours anytime you guys sign on, and for sure, unless I've got something crazy ass going on that, when the hell's that going to happen? So I'm walking away from this mic for a while. So I will absolutely do that. Just kind of send me the link to your Twitch channel, and I'll make sure that it rebroadcasts at all times. But
we have actually, since I am not working right now, we have already got our graphic design guy working on our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
Thanks,
we should
Gary.
have some artwork pretty soon.
Thanks, Gary.
Yeah, him and I have been working and talking quite a bit.
Yep, super talented dude.
Yes, love this guy already. He's been really cool, really nice. Thanks for setting us up with him.
Yep.
We've already got a Facebook page. We've got a Twitter. We've got an Instagram. Got you name any social media thing, I've set it up.
God bless you.
Everybody, they were like, "You really, Gonzo?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna let this one slide off." We got too many awesome people that sit in this chat channel and watch your show that need a show like ours.
Yep. And
we need another show that doesn't take itself seriously, but still brings out something to the community.
Agreed. And that's what at least that's what I always loved about our show, was that we kept it on the positive tip for the most part. I mean, everybody slides off that horse every now and again, but something that doesn't take itself too terribly seriously. It's this. I'm glad to hear you guys are going to be. Do you guys have a MySpace account? I think that's the question that everybody wants to know.
We're not a band.
Oh, but you could be. I mean, there you go. Well, I wish you guys just 110% of the best of luck, because I know that one of the things I wanted to make sure that as much as possible I could have it be a soft landing as I moved on to doing some other different things. The situation, folks, was the entire month of August, I was going to be gone anyway. And because of vacations and because of work in China and stuff like that, and with work at Starbucks and the roasteries kind of picking up speed, I don't have time, hours in the day, and could not be possibly leaving this time slot in a better hands than you two guys. So anything that I can do to help to promote you guys and help kind of get the word out and stuff, I'm going to be behind you 100%.
Yeah. I've been talking with a lot of other people,
Mm-hmm.
and I have got, just to kind of put it out there, on our first podcast, one lucky viewer will get a free pass to War Machine Weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You guys pimp harder than I ever thought of. You guys are amazing.
Oh, I realized I have my finger in a lot of buttholes around here. I mean, a lot.
I thought I smelled something.
I actually been
The podcast of proctology. There's your new tagline.
I actually talked to, as soon as you made the announcement to your Patreon viewers, I went and started talking to a lot of people and said, "Hey, this has come up. What are you willing to, are you willing to work with me?" And they're like, everybody's like, yeah. Why wouldn't we? We love you. We think you're awesome. We like your concept. We think it's great. Because our concept is not just going to be about painting and stuff. Where how's the best way to put it? We're going to be covering three kind of different aspects. Seth is going to be taking on all the hobby painting, everything. Spencer's going to be taking on the casual story, anything kind of that nature, and I'll be taking all the hardcore conventions and tournament type stuff.
Cool.
That way we can split it up between each other, and no one feels like they, did a little more, did a little less, and we cover every aspect. So each show will cover something from that.
Well, please do put all the different socials and all that kind of stuff over on the Painting with Men Off John Facebook site as soon as you want to. And, folks, we're going to be getting this one out as soon as possible so that we can get this news in front of everybody that they can understand what's going on. So are you guys going to be starting then off with your first show, the first Sunday after the first Sunday in August?
We are looking forward to that right now.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Right now, I've talked with a couple other people about hostings and where to start sending stuff out. We're not 100% done on that, but we're working on it.
Okay.
Also graphics, because we want to make sure that people can recognize us, and also patron rewards.
Yep.
Because we want them to also feel like they're getting something just like you did. One of the ideals we're kicking around, and I hope Seth doesn't mind me saying this, one of the rewards is having to have him paint a model of your choice, and also receiving the model. We haven't decided what and how, but that's one of the things we've been discussing.
Cool.
Also, a ton of guests. I actually have 5 guests that have committed to doing something on the show.
Fantastic. That's a great start. That is a great start.
I have one that's going to be talking about terrain building, one that's going to be talking about digital possible sculpting for us, one that's going to talk about a game that's actually gaining ground. I'm sure we're going to have industry people coming in. So I have one talking about 3D printing also, which I think is a very hot topic right now.
Well, fantastic. Well, folks, you can see, obviously, that the show's in great hands. Your Sunday nights are going to continue to be filled with shenanigans and whatnots. A little less gray hair, but a whole lot of fun. And that's what it's all about. So really, really wish you guys 100% the best of luck. We're going to be kicking this thing out for a couple more weeks. And then we're going to sign off with what should probably end up being some type of a Drunk Dojo episode with Rich. And we'll talk about that kind of stuff, and me putting the finishing touches on Hemera, which will be my last War Machine and Hordes model in my collection. I'll cross the finish line at 100% on all of my factions, which was kind of a goal that I wanted to set for myself before walking away from the show. And thanks to the fact that pirates paint in literally seconds, we can be doing that. So. Have we rambled on about this long enough, gents?
We definitely exceeded the keynote, so you're good.
Fuck yeah! All right. God bless you. Well, I mean, what we're of course talking about is we're talking about last year's keynote, not this year's super amazing keynote. I think we should probably bring in the crotch cam. So let's get the crotch cam on. Crotch cam! Woo! Super fun! Excellent! All right. So there's the crotch cam. Wiki. All right, there's my crotch. Whoops, it's kind of shaking. All right, so as you can see, well, I'm just happy to see you. So here we go. We have pirates, and these pirates are base coated, and boy, are they vibrant. And they so we're gonna be working on that while we talk about one of the most nutters keynotes I've ever seen. I mean, I've been watching lock and loads and Temple Cons and things like that keynotes since I got into the game back in 2009. And 2009 was my first con. And I will tell you, this one was at the top of the list as far as how much crazy nonsense they announced in one show. Guys, since I'm gonna be painting, I'm gonna be relying on you guys an awful lot to kind of lead the discussion. But I don't know, from my standpoint, I can't remember one that's been better.
I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing. I was at work. I got to put on and watch some pictures as they put them on, which is kind of cool, but with no sound because working. But no, a lot of cool stuff spoiled. It was very interesting.
Gonzo, what were your thoughts?
I watched it and thoroughly enjoyed it. I thought it was really fun. It had a lot of cool things. I like the way they presented the new models and stuff with the narrative. It was kind of neat, kind of cool.
Yep.
I liked the Alexa thing. I made quite a few jokes about that, but it sounds interesting. I'm excited.
Yep.
Definitely for what's coming out because everything seems really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this was a week that we saw a lot of things. Along with the lock and load stuff, we saw the Northkin CID come out, and we saw the John's already rolling his eyes. We saw some potential theme list changes that are controversial. And
No, I would not actually say that they're controversial. I would say that PwMJ did. They announced something that seemed absolutely balls crazy, and then I believe it was Pagani went on and stated exactly what their goal is, and it makes perfect sense.
Okay, so
I
what's
don't have to like it.
Yep.
It just makes perfect sense.
Okay. Do we want to go down this road, John, or what do you think? I'm going to leave this up to you.
I mean, I'm perfectly capable of keeping it reasonably positive. I mean, I'm very happy that they came out and said, with no uncertain terms, that they want people to play theme forces almost exclusively. You have to maintain that level so your players know what to expect. That way, people who don't necessarily like theme forces and think they are not the best way for the game forward. No, well, this is what they've chosen for the game forward. So make your peace with it one way or the other.
So is this, guys? I'm hearkening this. We've been doing a lot of this on the show recently, where we've been comparing PP strategies with perhaps some strategies we've seen from Games Workshop in the past. Is this essentially detachments for War Machine?
It kind of is, and I don't think they saw how that ended for them. And Chili makes a good point. Says it makes it easier for them to balance the game. Absolutely it does. Unfortunately, it also means that they control how we play the game to an extent, which is not good. I mean, I love that they're going to rush out all the theme forces. Like, we're going to get every model's going to have a theme force. So if you want to play a model, you're going to have a theme force. It doesn't mean you're going to be able to play the models you want, and that's one of the things people don't realize. It's what 40K has gotten back to at its core, which is you get to play the models you want to play together, just for casual fun. Super cool. And I'm sure, I guess you can for casual fun, but you're not going to be competitive with them. I mean, you're going to be down a fair amount of points, and that's not okay in any sort of competitive format. But that's not what you want. You're okay. The problem with the way it works, the free points, is that even casually, you're at a horrible disadvantage. Not just maybe you don't have the couple special abilities. You're losing 10% or more of your points.
Yeah, and it seems
roll up with a non-theme list on someone who's maxed out because the theme list is built that way, and they're 17 points up. That's significant.
We talked about this as a tournament aspect, and it's actually going to be tried. It's actually being tried right now. I didn't get to go to the tournament. That if you can play in theme, but if you don't play theme, you get 20 points of specialists during a Steamroller. So if you don't play theme, you get your 20 points of specialists, which means you can switch out and kind of.
I wonder if that's enough.
tweak your list to be what you're fighting. And I'm waiting to hear back how it worked. Because that was one a group of us decided to try and test out. So we're looking to see how that worked. Which I think is actually not a bad idea. That if, yes, you can take theme and you get your 20, you get your 12 to 17 free points, which is cool. But if you don't play in theme, you get 20 points of specialists to kind of jerry-rig your list when it comes time.
Interesting.
It's definitely an interesting idea. I'm glad people are thinking of stuff like that.
Yeah, it was one of the things that, and it was some tournament people that were talking about it, and they're testing it out at Masters tournament right now, so I'm kind of curious to see how it happens. I didn't get to go, so I gotta wait.
Yeah, definitely hear it. I mean, always good. I mean, the other big announcement was they're going to slow down the rate at which errata comes, which is a great idea
Agreed.
because errata's coming fast and furious, and this sounds negative. And also, it feels like we're beta testing the game for them, the entire game, and that's not what they want. I know that's not what they want. They actually want our stuff to be balanced and new stuff, not old stuff. So they're going to slow down the errata, which is good. The downside is that something like Ghost Fleet, which is probably not okay, is going to continue to probably be not okay for a bit.
Yeah, and it sounded, and for those of you who maybe didn't pay close attention to the to Lock and Load, the top two were the final four were both Signar and Crix, and they were both playing theme lists. And there were two Ghost Fleets, and there were two heavy metals.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's I hear what you're saying, John, about them wanting to go to having people playing, detachments for War Machine, but I worry that they're going to find themselves in the same issue that they had with Mark II, where it was all about lack of list diversity.
Yeah, that could be a problem. I'm a little worried for the casual aspect because, so let's say I make a casual as a super cool and fluffy, but I've got 15 extra points, and you make a cool list of super cool and casual, and you'd have 0 extra points because it's not a theme because that didn't fit what you wanted to build. In a casual situation, that's still, I mean, it's not good.
And that's why, even with the innovation that you're talking about here, with the specialists, even if you put the specialists in, you're still 15 or 20 points behind.
Correct.
It's good for a tournament format because a tournament player who's not playing with the theme list knows damn well what he's getting into, and that 20-point specialist could be the difference of him being able to fight his way through. It's a couple extra solos, maybe he gets that stuff, lets him shut down a couple solos he thinks are coming and get that advantage he needs to make his cool other combo work. And that's cool, but I'm worried about this is really me. I'm worried about the casual War Machine player because locally we've seen it starting to die off a lot casually.
Well, going back on the casualty aspect, they did announce a lot of casual stuff coming out for the game.
Company of Iron has my interest. I am very, very interested to see how that goes. But as far as playing the core game War Machine casually,
I think you have to actually, if you're going to say, hey, I just want to play some games of War Machine, let's not go tournament style. Let's just build me a 75 point that's not theme, blah, blah, blah. I think that's what you might have to do at your area. But they are bringing out a lot of casual events. The Summer Rampage was one, Winter Rampage, all those, and all release events are going to be casual, per se. And then you've got, what was that? There was something else that they said they were going to ramp besides the Company of Iron. Can't remember. There was something else.
Yeah,
there's a lot of information.
I remember the old
Rampage. I didn't pay as
Rampage.
much attention as I wanted to because, I'll be honest, they released information in a poor format because part of it came through the CID and then later it got fixed at War Machine Weekend where they explained exactly what they meant. So at the end it was good, but I had a couple days of stew on it and it stuck in my craw a little bit, made me a little annoyed.
All right, I'm putting this back up on the face cam here while I'm sitting here
While they
dry. So, yeah, you brought up an interesting topic, and that is the Company of Iron. Let's get the crotch cam out of the way. Get this God damn it! All right, here we go. You bring up an interesting. I have to go troll PP until I get banned. All right, God, go with God, Chili.
Have fun, man.
Just
Bye, Chili.
Just remind him it's not me.
Oh, I gotta pop in there and free man out John.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, that's a good one. Do that. Anyway, so the Company of Iron came. They I think they were playing it at Lock and Load, even though they haven't given us the whole deal yet. Have you guys heard any reports of anything coming out? Everything I've heard, at least, has been semi-positive.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard anything definitive. I've put out all my fingers to say, hey, let me know what it's like, everything, but I haven't heard anything, hey, it's a great game, but everything's been a positive type atmosphere around it.
Yeah.
Which is good.
I mean, I think people are excited to play a game that, you're putting 5 or 6 models on the table instead of, 50. And I think people are excited about that aspect of it. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very intrigued at it. I really want a smaller scale game. I think War Machine is the largest scale I would ever really want to play. So that's why it's turning me off to 40K. I mean, I'm kind of interested because it's got some fun casual elements, though. It's funny to show that this is not just a War Machine problem. Don't everyone think it's just a War Machine problem. One of the old locals, one of the guys used to work at Drop Zone, worked at Games Workshop, came by with his son, and his son is getting ready for the big local tournament down at Nova Open, and he's making an army that is all Grots. He has 56 units of Grots.
Holy hell.
Because the scenarios are all basically just run to the middle and hold the objective. So he's going to run Grots up, hold the objective, and then you literally cannot kill enough.
And just wait till the game ends. Wow, that's...
Yeah, hopefully he kills Jess enough from his pissant shooting and all that he can do something. I thought it was a great eye-opener because, when you get a little down on something, you start to look... The grass is green on the other side. But you don't realize it's green over there because they poop there. So you saw that, and I'm like, this reminds me of why it's not just greener over there. Every game has horrible, horrible bullshit.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen, and none of them are perfectly balanced.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, when they come up with a perfectly balanced, always fun, always competitive and casual war game, we'll all play it, but that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah,
Chess is your best one.
And the thing is...
Casual, dog. You can't casual chess.
Casual chess.
You cannot casual chess.
Dude, I am playing all bishops today.
I play all pawns.
I'm going all pawns. Oh, that fucking all pawn spam's gonna ruin the game, man. OP is shit.
Actually, one of the old GW guys, Alessio, actually made. He released a book of alternate versions of chess where, like, he did shit like give each piece a point cost and all, and different versions because he's apparently a chess guy and a war gamer. I never picked it up, but I heard about it on a podcast way back in the day, and I thought that was, at the very least, interesting.
That's hilarious. That's wonderful. So, I mean, that was one thing that came up was the Company of Iron went on. I thought that one of the things that was remarkably good, and we talked slightly about this at the beginning of the podcast during the pre-ramble, is they did a cinematic event. Really the first, I think, really well-done cinematic thing I've seen on War Machine. And it was to determine the fate of the Holden character that was going to come out. Was he going to be a living character, or was he going to be one of the Grimkin? And they had a half a dozen guys on either side of the table in a defend the wall kind of a thing. And it was really funny because I was in the chat room watching a lot of it, and it was the comparisons between it and Attack on Titan were unmistakable. And there's people joking around in the chat room going like, hey, the wall's made of colossals and stuff like that, which if you've watched Attack on Titan, which if you haven't watched Attack on Titan, shame on you, go watch it. At least the first season. The second season's like terribly paced. Anyway, it was really, really fun. And they ended up with Holden being the most broke-ass model ever put out by PP ever. Dude's got a gun that if he shoots the Colossal and rolls, it gives the cortex of the Colossal or any Warjack the unstable characteristic, which if you remember from Berserkers.
Holy moly.
Yeah, you got a 50% chance.
Thing.
You got a 50% chance in most cases of the Colossal just blowing up. It's a terrible rule. And they already said, Yep, we're putting this through the CID first. We know this is broken and stupid, but enjoy it while it lasts.
That's something I've noticed on a lot of stuff that they've been doing. Is like, yes, because they've already said, what is that? The mercenary model in Trolls, Ellis or whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
They've already said, they go, she's broken and she's going to get changed, but we want to see what you are saying and what's going to be happening before we unbreak her.
Yeah.
Yep. And for
Which
all
is the right answer. You can know something's broken, doesn't mean you know how to fix it.
Yeah. Yep. Without it's so many of those models walk that valley where they if you take and you move it from broken, it goes to stupid, to where it just doesn't get. It goes from broken to unplayable trash really fast.
Yeah. It's a small scale. People don't realize how small that scale is.
So, but
it's a fine line.
I mean, heck, you listen to my locals. Ossian went from awesome to unplayable trash, and all they did was switch. Was that
Deadeye?
Deadeye to Fortune.
Yeah, and so yeah, some people you can't please, man.
Some of my locals are funny.
I mean, I loved it. I mean, the chances it made the wub wub gun just stupid.
Oh yeah, I mean,
boosted
4 dice on
4 dice to pull the crit. You're at like what, better than 70% chance to pull the crit on the wub wub gun.
I don't think it's that bad. That good.
No, it was.
It's pretty good.
It was like 70% to pull the crit on 4 dice. So it was
math that thing.
Yeah. So I mean, somebody contact the ghost of Tony Riccio. Well, you know.
It's probably a very high chance. I don't think it's 70 off the top of my head, but it definitely a hell of a chance. And while that would be awesome, I'm all for them not letting that go.
Well, I mean, his Ossian's feat gives you extra damage, right?
Yes.
So, so you would have.
They got a telestrator for their fucking stream.
You're kidding me.
That's not fair.
How are we not doing an alternate audio stream for this? I'm just putting that out there. That's all right.
This is more important.
We had other things to talk about this time. So
let's
go ahead.
I think we need to talk about one of the most important things.
Yeah.
That the entire universe needs to talk about. Alexa.
Yeah. Not sure.
Because while I don't know all the rules, and I'll firmly say that, there's a running joke that I don't have to know the rules because I was a press ganger. So
that's the truth.
I just didn't care. So I always say that, I don't have to know the rules. I'm a press ganger. And so now that Alexa came out, I says, I still don't have to fucking know the rules because I can just ask Alexa the question.
So
now, it is in beta.
Yeah.
It's still in testing. But it answers some stuff that was actually really cool. And I thought was very interesting.
I wish they would have told me before Prime Day.
I wish that
I would have bought a couple of dots and put them around. Like I would have put one downstairs near where I'd put up the gaming table, because right now Alexa's right over there and gonna respond because I said her name.
Yep. Okay. I mean, if you play in your house, I can see where it'd be a great thing. At my LGS, I have yet to go to an LGS that had Wi-Fi, and that's just my experience. That's just my experience.
Oh, I have Wi-Fi, but that's cheating. I kind of work there.
So I don't have Wi-Fi at any LGS I've ever played in, and I'm sure there are many people who do, and for them that's great. But I don't know. I guess it's cool. I hope they didn't spend a lot of money doing it. But
isn't there going to be using it on your phone?
Is Amazon going to do a Fire Phone again? That didn't go too well the first time. I mean, I'll be honest. I get Amazon everything. I'd consider it as an upgrade for my crappy phone.
But there is an Amazon Alexa for your phone.
Oh, is there?
And yeah.
No,
yeah,
there's news to me.
Yeah,
sure.
there is. Or at least for my iPhone, because I use an iPhone. And they said that they're going to integrate it so you can... Yeah, I agree. Good.
Yeah. Thanks, Kev.
That you can use it on your phone and you can go, hey, Alexa, open War Room, and ask a question on your phone, which I think is actually pretty good, especially when you're trying to figure out something with your friends and you're not 100% sure.
I just make that shit up.
and that's cool. I mean, if people want to use it that way, that's great. I find the little rule book to be stupid useful, really fast to look stuff up, and if it takes me more than 2 minutes to look something up, I'm gonna dice it and say that's how the rule is this time. But that's just me. I haven't played in
I
a.
really think.
Hey,
I
Rich.
really think that what they need to do is the first time Alexa comes on, it goes, "Did you read the card?"
No, that's the Travis voice pack. That's the Travis Mark voice pack.
I'll tell you guys, after years of customer service and a little bit of technical support, RTFM is still the first thing. Read
the effing card.
manual.
Yeah. Yep.
I think it's interesting. Do I think it's going to be used a lot? Probably not.
Yeah. I mean,
But now we have to talk about the most important and the greatest news that came out.
that Rich just joined the chat room.
Rich, I love
Gastone's
Rich.
actually going to get a second version as an actual full warcaster.
No,
That's a good thing.
but that's not the most important thing.
Okay, what's the most important thing, Gonzo? We're
Most
all waiting.
important thing, Kador. Did you see all the Kador shit that was there? I mean, you had a guy carrying a flag. You had a big guy carrying a shield with Gatling guns. You had a guy who had a cannon on his head.
Man, that ain't
You had.
that's nice, but that ain't shit compared to House Vire getting them some lights.
It's about time.
Yeah, no kidding. Finally,
I'm
they finally
sorry,
found the
guys.
frickin'. Go ahead.
I have
Yeah,
to say the absolute most impressive thing I saw was fucking Scar 3.
I'm
was
on a
interesting.
boat. I'm on a motherfucking boat. I'm on a boat.
I mean, I can honestly say, like, I went through, I looked at the minion portion. I'm like, this is all cool stuff too. I mean, this is a lot of cool stuff they released. It's all exciting, and people are wondering what the was it the Crucible Guard? Is that their name?
Yep.
Yeah.
Crucible Guard, which is coming
Yeah.
out. The new faction.
Mm-hmm.
And they have tanks, at least 2 tanks that we saw.
Yep.
I'm okay because it looks like the whole world's progressing past sort of steampunk to that next level of steampunk,
Mhm.
you know, at the same rate. So I'm okay with it. I was originally a little annoyed. I saw the Kador stuff, and I'm like, no, it looks like they got a ton of stuff that's actually progressing to that level. So I guess I'm okay.
Also, Sorcerer 3. I don't know if you all saw that.
Oh, I did not see Sorcerer
was-
3.
Yeah,
There
she's
was
in Manowar, right?
Yes, there was a post that someone posted of a picture. I guess it was in the new No Quarter where they block out part of the picture and do the text. And there's Sorcerer 3. You can tell it's Sorcerer 3 because she's got her Frostfang and stuff, and she's got like a cannon arm, maybe. But she's in Man of War armor. And Man of War theme list is coming out,
Cool.
and we have a Grey Lord theme list.
To be fair, everything themeless is coming out.
Yes. I'm just really excited because I've been dying for a Grey Lord theme list more than anything. And knowing that Sorcerer 3 is going to come out in a Man of War armor suit, I can only get so erect.
Yeah, we've heard that about you.
I mean,
They
that's
got
just how
pills
it
for
is.
that shit now, though. So,
To bring it down? No.
No, you have to call the doctor for that.
only if your game lasts more than 4 hours.
I've been dying for a Man of War theme list since Pagani said that there was going to be one. And I love Man of Wars just because they're cool looking models, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
So cool. I mean, so lots of fun stuff as far as that stuff is concerned. I think that we really have the one thing we haven't talked about yet is the mini crate thing, which I think is pretty damn innovative, actually. I mean, while boxes by mail is something that's been kind of a thing for a couple of years. I don't believe any other miniature company has gone forward with that type of a model. I'm a little.
There is a
Go ahead.
There's a miniature crate game, but it's not a company one.
Oh, that's right. Yep. My cats are going crazy over here playing with shit. I do remember that now, Gonzo, that you mention it. So I think it's going to be neat. I mean, I think that it's going to be a difficult model to continue to go forward with, because if they don't go and they're keeping their initial ones are all remakes of existing models, and they're all very cheesecake. And we got one for the ladies, and they couldn't have been more derpy looking models if I had anyway. But I think that people are going to grow old, are going to grow sour on the fact that most of the selections they get will not be for their factions they care about, and I think they're going to find that the fact that it's not really new stuff is going to eventually wear thin.
I actually feel like that makes it better because there's a lot of old models they may not want to remake in general,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a good format to get some remakes out to the people. I mean, there was rage against the new Reinhold model, which is understandable. But Reinhold's an old model. While he's very solid for his age, getting a new model out there is cool. And you know, if they've decided they're going to continue to go on the whole cheesecake thing, I mean, that's a good way to get them to people. And you'll see a lot of groups getting one big VIP subscription to it, and then splitting up the models as they see fit.
Fair enough.
See, I hate the wolf and sheep closing. I wouldn't buy the subscription. I don't care for the subscription model. I think I'm going to buy it as it comes out. Because right now I don't have what is the one that the Siren? I don't run that faction, so I don't care. But I do like the Barlin Hirsch and a couple of other ones. I thought I might, depending on how they come out. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, I think I'm just gonna buy the subscription as whatever model that comes out. Yep, I'll subscribe for this month and cancel it. And 3 months down the line, oh, here's a model that I might use, or it's a really cool looking model. I'll buy that one, and then cancel the subscription after that month.
Yeah, letting you know exactly what's in it is a great call, because that way you get the people like you who don't necessarily want every one, and may not have a group that you want to get together with to get a subscription, and boom.
Yeah, cool. I mean, I have minions.
It's an interesting concept, though.
I have minions, so the second Swamp Horror, I'm all in on.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm down with Swamp Horror. Not that I've played my minions much, but they're still right there.
My Gorman de Wolf was painted long enough ago that it doesn't show what I can do with a paintbrush at this point in my painting life. So, yeah, looking forward to Bunny Suit.
My Gorman de Wolf is painted.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Both of mine are painted.
That's all I had to say about it.
Yeah, so...
I was lucky to get the PG one.
Sassy Greyjoy went to War Machine onesie to wear.
Yeah, just be careful what you ask for, Sassy. The last time
the Pusheen onesie. The Pusheen onesie is super cute. My roomie's got one.
And then someone makes a really good point in the chat that it's more of a hobby thing, and people that aren't into it will love this. And I'm fine with that. There's nothing wrong with that. They don't need to be playable for the person that wants it as a painting and hobby thing, because there's a lot of companies out there just make miniatures that don't go in a game. While I would never buy those, a lot of people do buy them and paint them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, like that one you were talking about, the actual mini crate. That's what you would get that for. You wouldn't get that because you want models for a game. It's because you if you do, it's because you play like D&D or something, and you just want random models. That way as someone who played a lot of D&D 4th edition, which required the use of models, man, I had models all over the place, and it was fun just to be like, what are these guys going to be? I'll tweak some rules, and there's these guys on the table.
Mm-hmm.
So my next D&D character is going to be a female human that disguises herself as a rabbit as a means by which to be a I don't even know what class an alchemist would be in D&D.
Generally a mage.
A mage?
Yeah.
Okay.
You rather than you casting spells, you're throwing your vials of whatever concoction.
There you go. Yeah. So there you go. A rabbit
Easy
onesie
peasy.
wearing mage. Boom. I got the model.
Not the strangest character in one of my parties. By far.
Oh, by the way, folks, as what we talked about earlier, John, do you want Sewer Bear to go out underneath the old Libsyn, or do you want it to be on your new hosting?
Go for everything you've got, just because I'm not sure where we're going to end up with.
Okay.
I did just record episode 9 yesterday. I believe we rolled dice once.
Okay. So it's a lot of role
Which means
playing.
it was a good session.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we're a lot more on the role playing, not the role playing.
Gotcha.
It's been a good time.
Cool.
You know, we forgot to do a salute to someone.
Oh, well, please correct us.
There was a celebrity that passed away. George A. Romero.
Yeah, George Romero.
We need to do a salute during the media section. Sorry.
Oh,
Didn't
didn't
mean
mean.
to break
No, that's
off
fine.
selection.
You know, we're all over the course. You know, when we broke the big news earlier today, literally all bets were off. You know, we're going to be careening from side to side, much like Speed Racer. So.
The next big thing to talk about.
Yeah.
2017 is coming tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Steamroller, gotcha.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Which I'm actually really stupid excited for.
Well, I mean, I've been playing it right along now for some time. It'll be interesting to see what the final version of it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I really want to
absolutely.
see what the final stuff is going on.
I really love 2017 versus 2016. I've enjoyed the games much more under 2017 than I did under 2016. I think that the fact that you have a terrain blocking piece of terrain in the middle of the table, so that you have line of sight blocking, has really helped me in my games.
Yes.
I loved the guidelines for placing terrain. We tried each of them a couple times. I love having those. People say, "Oh, it's impossible to do that as a TO." No, man, you got to get there early. You set up terrain real quick. It also means you can go, you, random store monkey, set up terrain using this format. Go. Easy peasy.
Yep. And it gets you. It really. I think that what I've seen with the terrain rules that you're talking about, John, is that it made it a much more tactically active game.
Absolutely, it's great. I've seen a lot of local boards for our what's it called, Store Wars game, and I get pictures, and they're just, no offense to you guys are running a cool event, they're fucking ass.
Mm-hmm.
And people shouldn't have to play upon those. It's just not. It takes away from the game. I don't mind all flat terrain, especially for a tournament. No problem with that at all. But for Christ's sake, set it up like you actually care.
Yeah. Been playing 40K and War Machine and Hordes, and it's interesting that terrain actually matters in War Machine and Hordes more than it does 40K right now.
Oh,
Because I've seen way too many crappy setups in 40K for terrain that, I've got line of sight to everything, so it doesn't even matter. Your terrain doesn't mean shit.
I got a heavy weapon. I'll just stand here and shoot. I got line of sight to everything. It's all good.
Yeah. It was interesting being from two different perspectives.
As an old Necromunda player, that never happened on a board I set up.
Oh,
Terrain was king in Necromunda.
and it had to be too.
Well,
Absolutely.
and this, for the same reason with Infinity as well. I mean, if you do a
yeah.
crappy job with terrain in Infinity, the game ends on top of turn 1. But
No,
that's an exaggeration.
close.
That's an exaggeration.
Close.
But
You the game will be decided at the top of turn 1. I concur.
so
Terrain is important.
Blend Librarian still.
Yeah, which also goes back to one thing we were going to talk about was 2D and 3D terrain.
Yeah, we'll have to save that one because I
Bring
don't
the
think we can
beer
cover
along,
it in the
Davis.
next handful of minutes.
Want to taste?
Oh, I can.
Oh well, hit it.
My idea, I love 3D terrain. 3D terrain is awesome. It's incredibly good. But if it's not flat and you can't place a miniature on it, it's a piece of crap. Because it ruins the aspect. And I had that feeling today playing 40K. I couldn't place my miniatures on there. And so I had to say, okay, they're all right here. And then move them off of it. 2D terrain, great for tournaments, great for moving miniatures, but looks like shit. Plain and simple. 3D terrain for Infinity and Shadow War Armageddon, because it's usually industrial type and it's all got ladders and flat surfaces. Great. I wish there was more 3D terrain that I could put miniatures on correctly without having a proxy base.
Word.
And
So-
to deal with that, that is one of the subjects we're going to talk about on the next on one of our podcasts, is making 3D terrain that is miniature friendly.
Well, I'll be for sure tuning in on that one because I want to get some more information on that because to be honest with you, I do like the look of 3D terrain quite a lot. It's a matter of how do you make it compatible with the games that we love. And I don't know who you're going to have as the guest on that one, but I will for sure be in the chat room, totally not trolling the fuck out of both of you the entire time with shit like hashtag #FreeMenothJohn and stuff like that. So just because I'm not on the show doesn't mean I can't be a thorn in your side.
But remember, I know where you live.
This is a true statement of fact. But do remember also, guys,
So-
with the big announcement, JohnCon 2017 still happening, still 100%, still going forward. Probably going to be a JohnCon 2018, 2019. This is something that I can, I want to help the folks that have less than we have. So I want to keep that tradition rolling.
My take on 3D versus 2D terrain is that I have no problem with 2D terrain. I'm not going to fault someone for playing 2D terrain. Doubly so in a tournament, triply so if you brought it yourself because maybe your store doesn't have a lot of terrain. It fits in a backpack in no space at all. Like literally, I have a GW backpack that holds two of their old figure cases. I can put 2 figure cases and still have my terrain in there, no problem.
Yep.
So for that, it's awesome. For the look, I love 3D terrain, but there's certain 3D things you just can't easily make in a format that would work. Being trenches, water effects, stuff like that. There's no reason for those to be 3D. 3D just means your models are going to fall over.
And for a lot of us, we put way too much effort into that shit to have them just turn into a bowling ball. So
I love my ideal for the perfect mix of, looking good with being functional is a bunch of 2D stuff, but you put trees on the tree templates. The buildings that you can't stand on are absolutely 3D all the time. And then the rest can be 2D. Hills can be 2D. 3D hills are cool if you've got the right kind, but I have no problem with 2D hills either.
that's a really good idea, John.
Yeah, it's a good middle ground. It's because you can't always have everything. I mean, if someone's made 3D terrain of all that type that you can stand on with no problem, hats off, do it. It's all good. But as far as the middle ground, you're gonna have a game, you're sort of in the front of the store, people can see. Do the middle ground so you can easily have your models where they're going to be and still look cool.
Cool. What else we got, boys?
I did want to think that it was interesting that Mark III is the same as Mark II when it comes to tournaments, based on the tournament standings we've seen at Lock and Load. Crix and Signar are still on the top, like 5 slots.
Yeah. I tweeted out that clearly Crix is unplayable garbage and needs all the help they can get.
The funny thing is, it's different in the UK, different in Europe. I forget what tournament I saw a report from, but the report was a very balanced report of factions. I don't know if there was a Crix in there. There was 2 of 1, and I don't think it was Signar. It was very interesting to see that. So it's not necessarily the same everywhere, which is good.
Yeah.
No, I just thought it was interesting that I was sitting there looking, because I keep track of all the tournament stuff, because I know a lot of the guys that play and all they do, and they're a lot of good friends, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, the top 5, top 6 is Signar and Crix. So I'm looking for all the other ones. Where is Kador? Well, way down there, but there wasn't a lot of Kador players.
Where was Protectorate?
So,
Holy shit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, looking at just who's at the top is not enough data, because you just see how many players showed up for each, and the skill levels matter. But because sure, Keith Christensen's in the finals, I think, with Signar, or the semifinals. This is my shocked face.
Yeah, but
I mean, it happened. Tim
but
Banksy, rumor has it he knows how to play.
yeah, it's
Yes.
nice to see Keith kind of doing really well at it, though, because I know that Keith has been taking some time out to be a dad, and we haven't maybe seen him in the top list lately. So welcome back, Keith. Good job, man. Way to keep it real for the Wisconsin meta.
yeah. I mean, he's a really good guy.
Yeah, he is.
Whenever last I saw him, he said, "Hey, I've got to take a break because more important things. I'm a dad. Nobody cares. Go do it, dude."
Yeah, buddy.
Absolutely.
So there you go, folks. We are very excited for the release of 2017. Get our hands on that information. That'll be released tomorrow. They're going to be putting that out. So stay tuned to your local privateer server, which I'm sure will be spitting blood at some point when everybody tries to download it all at once.
I just need one local to get it, then he'll put it on our Slack channel, and then we'll all be able to take a look at it at our leisure.
Very cool. Next weekend, I don't know have you guys decided what you're going to do with next week's show?
Oh, we got so many plans, man. You don't even know how many plans.
So what do I need to plan for?
Yeah, no, I have no idea what we're doing next week.
Okay.
Well, next week isn't the final.
No, okay, but I thought you guys.
30th.
But the
Next week's the
30th,
penultimate.
the 30th is my show. I decide what the fuck goes on in that show. My show. Y'all get ready for that.
That Michael after Sinister, huh, John? A little
Yeah.
worrisome.
Oh, look, we're having trouble with Skype. Click. But the thing I'm excited is this fella that because he's green looks like I'm holding the invisible. I'm going to be painting this one invisibly. I'm going to be using invisible paint. This has stealth, as you can see. Best ever. Thank you, Chroma Key. But this is several shades of green. Looks lovely. You'll never be able to see it on screen, but that's fine.
That's really awesome.
Woo, scary. As you can see here, he has stealth. This is the new camo paint from Privateer. It's thermoptic camouflage. There you go.
It's not as good as the metal paint. The metal paint was awesome.
Yes, indeed.
That's what we didn't talk about, the quick P3 stuff. I'm glad they're doing more painting things.
Yeah.
And Dallas is the perfect person to lead all that because he's such a cool and relaxed guy about it.
Yep, and he's very charismatic. He does a really nice job with it. His little brief video from the keynote just knocked it out of the park. So
100% was amazing.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, Dallas is doing some really super legit tutorials on their site, and I was talking to Seth actually, who's kind of gotten the behind the scenes look at how they actually make those videos, and I guess the way that they do it so that they can actually get the cameras right and stuff. It's on a turntables. It's on a rod, which is connected so it can spin and stuff. But he can't pick that model up and actually do anything with it. It's always attached, which makes what he does even more impressive than what it is because he doesn't have freedom to hold the model the way he wants to hold it. Man, that would drive me batshit. I would lose my mind.
Well, it's like I was watching some of the lock and load videos on Twitch on what he was doing, and he has it's a mic stand with a blob of sticky tack and then a spray can top with double-sided tape and then the miniature on that, and so he can rotate it like this to paint, but he can't pick it up to paint it.
That's the rig that they
to,
use for those
rotate
videos.
around.
Yep. It's a mess. I don't know how he does it.
And he's an incredible guy that if you ever get to spend some time with him, he was really awesome. He let me stay at his house at Lock and Load last year with Kim and I and my friend Chris. Guy made breakfast for us and everything. So he's a really good person.
Cool.
To be and know. Got a great personality, really down-to-earth person.
Yeah, legit.
All right, so I'm done. I mean, I really didn't paint very much this episode, and I'm done painting. What does that tell you? We're mailing them in, folks. Last two episodes, I'm gonna just put a postage stamp over my face.
I feel like we had really good content, man.
No, we did, but I mean, I'm just saying. But I'm cutting it short at 8:04. Usually, we'll go a little bit longer.
These models last. You gotta make these models last.
All right.
You gotta savor them a little bit.
Oh, it's like a fine wine made out of metal. All right, so we're gonna come on over here to the media section. Where woo, here we go, media section, and I still haven't seen John Wick 2, and I'm a bad person for that, but maybe I'll watch it.
You need to see John Wick 2. John Wick 2 is.
I love
very
John
good.
Wick. I love John Wick. So anyway,
If
remember.
I wasn't working tomorrow, I'd go down and watch John Wick 1 right now. I mean, since we're done, obviously, but.
Well, just remember, folks, none of this makes sense, but we got to do this shit. So we love it. Anyway, so John, welcome to the media section, and of course, we wanted to hear what have you seen this week?
I actually had a really, really trying week as far as trying to get time to watch anything. I didn't watch anything till today.
But you got busy today.
A little bit. I started off with a movie called American Ultra.
American Ultra.
Which is, what's his name? The guy who played Mark Zuckerberg in the Facebook movie. Who tried to pretend he played something remotely akin to Lex Luthor in Batman vs Superman.
Oh God, I have no idea.
I don't remember his name off the top of my head. But he's playing functionally the same character in this movie, but he's like a stoner, stoner loser in West Virginia with his girlfriend, who's also a bit of a stoner.
Okay.
Not as much of a loser. And it goes in how he's having, he's trying to propose to her. He can't leave town because he gets these panic attacks. And Jesse Eisenberg. Thank you, Brett Painter. Epic Brushhead.
Indeed.
Back on that. And it comes around. Apparently, he's actually like a secret agent. That's all, inbred, so he won't leave town because he's from a program that didn't work. And people come after him to kill him, like you do in these types of movies. And he, of course, whoops their ass. Now, this sounds like this would be a great movie, right? Sounds like this is our cup of tea.
Well, it sounds like they're ripping off like the Bourne Identity, to be honest.
Yeah, it's not good. I mean, and I'm not gonna blame the actors. I feel like they all are getting what they're aiming for. Topher Grace gets his character pretty well. Christian Stewart from your movie Office Hater, Jesse Eisenberg, he's a stoner loser. The problem is I don't really give a fuck about any of them, and I mean, it wasn't like terrible to watch. Don't want to make you feel like it's terrible. I don't feel like I wasted time. I feel like though, if I really wanted to see something like this, I should just watch an old Jackie Chan movie and then follow up with the Bourne Identity. It'll take a bit longer, but the content will be infinitely better.
Gotcha.
So it just has some funny scenes, some decent scenes. They're really trying too hard. They even misused Walton Goggins. He's got a role in it through most of the movie, and just misused. He doesn't get a lot of lines. When he does, they're doing some gimmick and they sound weird. And he's a very amusing actor, so it's very disappointing when you see him misused. So overall, I give this like 3 shots of Kraken. It's on Amazon Prime for free, so it's not like a bad time on Amazon Prime. You got an hour and 30, hour and 45, whatever it is, somewhere between the two of them. Not a bad time, but don't go out of your way to see it. It's just not that good.
Excellent. Gonzo, do you want to go next, or do you want me to go next? Because I got a doozy.
Oh, I can go next.
Okay.
I got a doozy too.
All right.
I caught up on all the Marvel series, by the way, so I'm caught up on Luke Cage and Iron Fist. So I can talk about that later. But my big one, you're so fired. My big one is I saw the new Spider-Man movie.
Excellent.
I saw it Tuesday. I liked it, but I had a problem with it. And I thought about it for like 3 days. I was like, what's wrong with this Spider-Man movie? I was like, it had great special effects, had a good story, had good action, good movie. But I think it was like Friday night. I was like, oh, I know what's wrong with it. Spider-Man wasn't a smartass.
Oh, yeah,
he
was.
isn't your typical smartass in the movie. And I think that's the problem I had with it. Not to say anything bad about the movie, but that was my problem with it, is I'm used to Spider-Man being the PG Deadpool for the most part. That he makes wisecracking jokes, makes silly remarks, so on and so forth. And there wasn't that in the movie as much as I thought there would be. And that kind of got to me. I don't have a problem with a young Aunt May or the young Spider-Man, because I actually like the Ultimate Spider-Man comic book. I love the new Miles and all that stuff. But I think that's what the problem with the movie was, is there wasn't the wisecracking PG-13 wisecracks that you're used to seeing in Spider-Man. Vulture, great. I loved the character. It was really good. I think that was really good. I thought it was really awesome. Special effects was really good. I think was it Ned, his buddy, stole the show for me. I loved him because that would be me, the fat guy that tries to find and helps the superhero. He was great in the show.
You're gonna be the guy in the chair?
Yeah, I'll be the guy in the chair. My fat ass can't move around like Spider-Man. But I mean, to me, Spider-Man is a wisecracker. I mean, he's a smartass, but he's a PG-13 type smartass, and I really missed that. I was kind of like bummed.
Now, just thinking about it right now, haven't seen the movie 2 weeks ago. I don't think there were. I think he was occasionally quippy, but I don't think there was too many opportunities for it. It wasn't that kind of movie. There weren't very many, if you will, straight fights.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's the problem I had with it, is there wasn't a lot of the quippy one-liner, stupid, smartass remarks.
Yeah, they trimmed the fat a lot on it to keep it tighter, and I think in that fat you would have had like the standard fight with some putsy supervillain that he beats up and has quips the whole time.
Yeah, I mean, it was still a good movie. A lot of good scenes, a lot of good animation. Great after the trailers or after the credit scenes.
The second after the credit scenes, top notch. Do you agree?
Yes, was great.
I still haven't seen
it.
It was
coming too. Yeah, we won't spoil it. It was good. You have to stay for the second one. But I think that's what the problem I personally had was there wasn't the Spider-Man I like with all the stupid smartass remarks.
Fair enough.
So there's mine.
All right. Are you guys? You guys are sitting down. So let me define what love is.
Me?
No, love is watching Twilight because it's your girlfriend and her mom's birthday. So I watched Twilight, and it's such a bad movie that John has frozen solid. Literally, this has caused a rip in the internet space-time. So Belinda, knowing what she was about to get myself into, says, "John, I'm going to drive over to my mom's house and we're going to watch Twilight, and that way you can drink." I love this woman, and so it's this is the most brooding movie I've ever seen in my entire life. It is literally two angsty teenagers. Only one of them's 100 years old. And they like angst at each other for 2 hours and some small change of minutes. And okay, so there's one thing they do get right. Where this movie takes place, which is Forks, Washington, is probably one of the foggiest places on the planet. Just because it literally pops out of the Puget Sound area, and it's probably just like how they showed it. It's probably like fucking clouds, 362 days a year. And then the other 3 days, what the fuck is up with diamonds being on the skin of a vampire? What the hell?
Man.
What does that even mean? So I contacted my spirit animal, Zosha Simpson, via Facebook during the course of this, asking for her help in understanding what it is that I'm actually watching. And she pointed out to me that what you're watching is the beginning of an abusive relationship. And that it's really screwed up that some girls actually find this an appealing role model. And I have to agree with her. This movie is hot garbage. Do not show it to your children.
It's more than just girls. I mean, it's women that think that this is how a perfect relationship should happen.
Man, it's all fucked up. This is not okay. So, so Twilight's bad. It's not a good movie. It's not a mediocre movie. It's just fucking bad. The acting is terrible. I mean, it's just the girl that has the lead role, Bella, is her name? She couldn't
it's
act
the
her
same
way.
one that was in my movie. Yeah,
She couldn't act her way out of a wet paper bag.
she gets better as an actress, but yeah, I heard her performance in that was a performance in name only.
Just
Well, I mean, even the guy, whatever his name is,
Edward?
he said that he hated. Yeah, the actor said that this is a piece of shit movie and he hates acting in it. He thinks it's one of the worst things he's ever done, but it pays the bills and it makes a lot of money. He hated the movies.
yeah, wow, it's not good. It's not even good a little bit. So I am glad that I saw it with my girlfriend and her mom because it was something that meant something for them. And I am happy to do that. It was for their birthday weekend, and when it's my
That's what you
birthday,
do for love.
and when it's my birthday weekend, ladies and gentlemen, the fucking gloves come off. I will
So
find.
is it-
I will
bad?
find a movie. Turkish Star Wars is back on the menu, boys.
No, not
That's too
Star
good.
Wars.
Come on,
That's-
man. You have to go to Atlantic Rim, or is that too cruel?
Atlantic Rim.
That's true. Belinda Librarian, who happens to be over there, just reminded me that we did watch what I wanted to watch, and I forgot what it was too. but it was. Then we watched Snowpiercer,
Okay, cool.
and Snowpiercer was fine. It was.
Yes.
It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. I think Chris Evans does a nice job in the lead role. It's dark and very typically Asian cinema,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a good thing and a bad thing sometimes.
Sometimes when you say it sets into cinema, that does mean it's both a good thing and a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing and a bad thing. So Snowpiercer, if you haven't seen it, is contrived as fuck from a plot standpoint. They decided to combat global warming by releasing a chemical agent into the atmosphere, and guess what? Things go pear-shaped. Because that never happens when the law of unintended consequences is laying around. So things go sideways, the whole world freezes, except this one guy decides, I know how I'm going to beat the problem. I'm going to build a train around the world, and I'm going to make this train so badass that it can go through snow and avalanche bullshit and all kinds of stuff. And but he's got it set up as this really whacked out society where your ranking in the world depends on how far back on the train you are. And what the movie ostensibly is this guy kind of fighting his way and creating a revolution to get up to the front of the train, because if you control the front of the train, you control the train, and to control the train, you control the world. And I don't think that the statute of limitations is out on this one yet for spoilers. John, I need your
Ever
ruling.
for not, I haven't seen it yet. But,
Okay.
I mean, I think time-wise it's getting there, but I'd prefer if you didn't.
Okay, I will not. It is available on, I think it's on Amazon Prime. Did we? No,
It
we
was on
we
Netflix.
paid for that, didn't we?
Yes, we did.
Oh fuck, we paid for it.
It was
so
on Netflix when I saw it. I don't know if it still is, but
I
it was
don't.
on Netflix when I saw it.
Okay, well, probably should have checked it, but maybe we paid for it unnecessarily. But I would.
So, yeah, shots of Kraken for both movies. You haven't given us either.
Okay,
I
so
mean, I can guess, but
so I'm going to give actually Twilight in cans of wine, because that's what I was drinking, and I drank 5 cans of wine. That's what I'm going to give. I'm gonna give 5 cans of wine. It's not as potent as shots of Kraken. I think it's like a metric scale, so it's probably 3.5 shots of Kraken equals 5 cans of wine. Snowpiercer, I'm going to give it 2 shots of Kraken, because the first shot's to warm me up because it's cold. It's fucking, the world is cold, and the second one is to get through the ending. So
yeah, that sounds good. As Gonzo mentioned, we do need to toast. In fact, Gonzo, unfortunately, news is coming. We need to toast 2 people now in the media section.
Oh shit!
Whoa.
I just checked Facebook a minute ago, and in addition to needing to toast the master of zombies,
Mm-hmm. OG zombie.
yeah, we also need to toast to Martin Landau of Space 1990 and Ed Wood and other fame.
Oh, that's a shame.
Mission Impossible. Yeah.
Ah, I loved Martin Landau.
He's 89, so he lived a long life, but it is always a shame when we see these guys pass.
Yep.
So.
Well, on behalf of Martin Landau and George A. Romero, from all of us here at the Penny with Menoth John Sunday Night Extravaganza, hey, Ron.
Ron.
Oh, that sucks. I like Martin Landau.
Yeah. I enjoyed Space 1999. I wish they'd put that on Amazon. I'd watch that.
Space 1999, a Gary Anderson tip. One of my favorite guys. I'm thinking about picking up the Thunderbirds board game. I really am.
Ah, cool.
Because I would love to play that. I mean, fuck, I watch that show even now as like being almost 50 years old, and it's like, fuck yes, Thunderbird 2, bitches, I'm coming.
So speaking of old and on Amazon Prime,
Yeah, buddy.
I actually watched some other stuff after I got done with America Ultra since it was a little disappointing. I watched the first 2 episodes of MacGyver, and I don't mean the new one. I mean the original.
Oh.
There is only the original.
I haven't seen any episodes of the new one, so I don't want to judge yet. I figure there's a fair chance they might have made it okay. We'll see. But man, the first thing I thought of after I get through the cold open to MacGyver and they're getting into the main plot of the pilot episode is, why the hell is MacGyver arriving in Blue Thunder? Because he was arriving in Blue Thunder. Gatling gun on the front and all. I was just like, what the hell? Apparently they had the helicopter around or something, so they just threw him on there, so it was good. But yeah, I mean, it's very 80s, but it's very enjoyable. The first episodes, they kept my attention the whole time. I wasn't bored or anything. MacGyver he's a great, TV action hero.
Yep.
He does the right thing for the right reasons. He's a good guy, and he uses his brains rather than brawn to get his way out of sticky situations.
Cool.
And as Gonzo loves, he's got the right quips.
Yes.
As in the first episodes, one woman's like, "What are you going to build? Like, explosives out of bubble gum and such?" Or such a bubble gum. He's like, "Why? You got any?" Which I thought was a great response. But no, very enjoyable. I will definitely, as I get some free time, a little bit here or there. Since it's an old TV show and the picture's not very good, because it's an old TV show, it was only filmed in certain things, it's great to watch on the computer. And I find there are certain things. The older things are, people, the more you can watch them on your computer.
So
the newer, you want to go to your TV because the screen and the resolution's so much better.
MacGyver's on Amazon Prime?
Absolutely.
Nice. That might be worth tuning in.
I give MacGyver one shot of Kraken. A half shot of it's for the mullet. The other half is for, hey, it's the 80s.
Yep.
There's 80s things here. And there's some cliches, but damn it, it's still cool and it's still fun.
Super sweet. Well, cool. We're right there, folks. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the music, just because. Let's go back on here to the face cam. Well, folks, we're bringing it to a close, aren't we? We got 2 more of these joints to throw up on the internets, whether you like it or not. So,
just like it. You don't have a choice.
We're going to punish the fuck out of you twice more here on the Penny with Menoth John Sunday Night Extravaganza. We're not going to say all the goodbyes on this episode. That's what we got episode next after next to do. So... but stay tuned. We're going to do some good stuff next week. No fucking idea what that is, but I'm sure it'll be amazing. And then we're going to roll back in for having Beer Machine Rich with us to put a bow tie on the old show, the old Sunday Night Extravaganza, right off into the sunset and have a good one. So remember, folks, if you want to attend JohnCon 2017, get on over there to PwMenothJohn.com. That is your official clearinghouse for all the informations that you're going to need. And I am going to be making sure that we have the hall, because if we don't have the hall, we're not having a JohnCon. Or it's going to be a really small one, because there was enough people at the house last year. So on behalf of Mr. John Spencer and the Irrational Gonzo, I am Menoth John. We will catch you back here on the Sunday Night Extravaganza next week here on Painting with Menoth John. Good night, everybody.
Can't get so erect.
Stop looking at the Kador spoilers.
Screw that. Batman's got gorillas. Gorillas. Cannot get enough monkeys.